The hero dog saves the life of a baby forgotten at a supermarket. A story that will leave you speechless. What happens in the middle completely changes the ending. We would love to know which city you're watching this video from. Leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and activate the notification bell to stay updated with all our content. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the bustling streets of Brookside, a small yet vibrant town nestled in the heart of America. The local supermarket, Brookside Grocers, stood as a beacon of daily life, its bright lights and steady hum a comforting presence for the community. Inside the store, the automatic doors slid open and closed with mechanical precision as customers moved in and out, filling their carts with groceries for the week. Among them was Emma Thompson, a young mother juggling the demands of parenthood and a part-time job at the store. Her son, 8-month-old Liam, sat contentedly in his stroller, watching the world go by through curious eyes. Emma was known for her kindness and dedication, always going the extra mile for her customers and her son. Today, however, the pressures of balancing work and motherhood had taken their toll. As she attended to a demanding customer at the checkout, her mind wandered, her thoughts scattered between unpaid bills and upcoming shifts. Across the store, Max, a large and loyal German shepherd with a sleek black coat, patrolled the aisles alongside his owner, Jake Ramirez. Jake, a former police officer turned security guard, trusted Max implicitly. The duo had been inseparable since Max was a pup, their bond forged through countless hours of training and shared experiences. As the evening progressed, the store began to empty. Emma glanced at her watch, realizing she was nearing the end of her shift. She decided to take a few moments to gather Liam before heading home. With a quick apology to her last customer, she made her way towards the exit, Liam's cooing filling the quiet moments. Unbeknownst to Emma, a flicker of distraction lingered in her mind. Perhaps it was the fatigue from a long day or the ever-present worry about making ends meet. But in those final moments, her attention wavered. As she reached the parking lot, her steps slowed, her gaze fixed on her phone screen, composing a quick text before she could leave. In that split second, the stroller began to roll forward, guided by the gentle push of the evening breeze. Emma's heart skipped a beat as she realized her mistake. She had left Liam unattended. Panic surged through her veins as she turned to retrieve him, but the stroller had already made its way to the edge of the parking lot, dangerously close to the busy street. Max, ever vigilant, sensed the change in the atmosphere. His ears perked up and his instincts kicked in. Without hesitation, he sprang into action, bounding towards the stroller with speed and determination. Jake watched in alarm as Max positioned himself between Liam and the oncoming traffic, his protective nature shining through. Just as a car turned the corner, screeching its tires in an attempt to avoid disaster, Max lunged forward, nudging the stroller back onto the sidewalk. The vehicle missed by inches, and the chaos of the near accident sent ripples through the night air. Emma rushed to Liam's side, her eyes wide with relief and gratitude. "Oh my God, Max. Thank you," she whispered, tears welling up in her eyes as she scooped her son into her arms. Jake approached, placing a reassuring hand on Emma's shoulder. "He's a hero," he said softly, nodding towards Max, who stood tall and alert, his chest heaving from the exertion. As the night settled back into its routine, the community of Brookside Grocers buzzed with the story of the heroic dog who saved a baby. But little did they know, this was just the beginning of a journey that would uncover secrets, test loyalties, and reveal truths that none could have imagined. The following morning, Brookside Grocers was abuzz with the tale of Max's heroism. Posters of the valiant German shepherd adorned the break room, and customers couldn't help but admire Jake and Max as they made their rounds. Emma, still shaken from the previous night's events, found solace in the community's support, but the incident lingered in her mind, haunting her with the possibility of what could have happened. Emma's neighbor, Mrs. Collins, an elderly woman with a keen eye for community happenings, stopped by to offer her condolences. "Emma dear, that was truly miraculous. Max is a real guardian angel." Emma managed a weak smile. "I just hope it doesn't happen again." Meanwhile, Jake received a call from his old friend, Detective Laura Michaels, who had recently transferred to Brookside's small police department. Jake, we need to talk about Max. There's something unusual I need your help with. Puzzled, Jake agreed to meet Laura at the local diner after his shift. As he sipped his coffee, Laura approached with a serious expression. Jake, there's more to Max than just being a great security dog. I've been investigating a series of strange events in town, and I believe Max is somehow connected. Jake frowned. What kind of events? Laura leaned in, lowering her voice. There have been reports of missing items, odd sightings around the old warehouse on Maple Street, and some unexplained noises at night. People are getting uneasy. Jake nodded thoughtfully. I haven't noticed anything unusual, but Max has been acting a bit strange lately, like he's sensing something we can't see. Before Jake could inquire further, the bell above the diner door jingled, and Emma walked in, cradling Liam in her arms. Spotting Jake and Laura, she made her way over. Hi, you two. Everything okay? Jake hesitated, glancing at Laura. Actually, we were just discussing some odd happenings around town. Have you noticed anything unusual? Emma shook her head. Just the usual. Why? Laura glanced at Emma sympathetically. Nothing you need to worry about right now, but if you hear or see anything out of the ordinary, please let us know. As Emma sat down, Max's behavior caught her attention. The usually calm dog was restless, his eyes fixed on something beyond the window. Is Max okay? She asked, noticing his unease. Jake sighed. He's been on edge since the incident last night. We think he might have sensed something. Emma reached out to pat Max's head. Well, he's certainly proven he's a hero. As the day progressed, Max's unease didn't fade. During his patrols, he often stood still, staring intently at the old warehouse on Maple Street. Jake, noticing this pattern, decided to investigate further. He wasn't one to ignore Max's instincts, especially after witnessing his bravery firsthand. That evening, as the sun set and shadows lengthened, Jake and Max made their way towards the warehouse. The building had been abandoned for years, a relic of Brookside's industrial past. Local kids often dared each other to explore its darkened halls, but no one had ventured inside in recent memory. As they approached, the air grew colder, and an eerie silence enveloped the area. Max's growl was low and steady, his body tense. Jake reached for his flashlight, the beam cutting through the darkness as they stepped closer. Suddenly, a faint noise echoed from within the warehouse. Whispers, indistinct but urgent. Max barked sharply, pulling Jake towards a side entrance. Peering inside, Jake's heart raced as he saw a shadowy figure dart across the room. Before he could react, a loud crash echoed through the building, and the ground beneath them trembled. Max lunged forward, his protective instincts in full force, as Jake struggled to keep his footing. Inside the warehouse, the truth began to unravel. A hidden network, secrets from Brookside's past, and a revelation that would tie Max and Emma's lives together in ways they could never have imagined. Jake's heart pounded as he navigated the dimly lit corridors of the old warehouse, Max by his side. The whispers they heard earlier seemed to grow louder, echoing off the concrete walls. Determined to uncover the source, Jake pressed forward, flashlight in hand. Max's growl deepened, and his body stiffened, directing Jake towards a hidden door partially concealed behind a stack of crates. Pushing aside the debris, Jake revealed a narrow passage leading into a secluded room. Inside, the air was thick with dust, and old machinery lay dormant. On the far wall, a series of photographs were pinned up, depicting Brookside Grocers in its early days, alongside several unfamiliar faces. One photo, in particular, caught Jake's eye. It showed a young woman holding a baby, standing next to the store's first owner, a man named Henry Lawson. Before Jake could ponder the significance, a sudden movement in the corner of the room startled him. A figure emerged from the shadows, a middle-aged man with a grizzled beard and wary eyes. "Who are you?" Jake demanded, his hand instinctively reaching for his concealed weapon. The man held up his hands in a gesture of peace. "Easy there. I'm not looking for trouble." Jake lowered his weapon slightly but remained cautious. "What are you doing here?" The man sighed, glancing around the room. "Name's Thomas. I used to work for Lawson Enterprises. I came back to find something that was taken, Max stepped forward, growling softly, sensing the tension. Thomas glanced at the dog, then back at Jake. I don't want any trouble. I'm just trying to uncover the truth about what happened here years ago. Jake's curiosity piqued. What happened? Thomas took a deep breath, his eyes distant. Henry Lawson wasn't just a businessman. He was involved in some shady dealings, illegal activities that kept the store afloat during tough economic times. But there was more. A child was lost, a baby that Henry took in under mysterious circumstances. No one knows what happened to that child. Emma's name echoed in Jake's mind, connecting the dots between the lost child and the baby Max saved. Could there be a connection? Before Jake could ask more, a loud crash reverberated through the warehouse. Thomas's eyes widened. They're coming. Out of the darkness, figures clad in black tactical gear emerged, moving swiftly towards the hidden room. Jake, we need to get out of here, Thomas urged, grabbing Jake's arm. As the intruders closed in, Max sprang into action, barking fiercely and positioning himself between Jake, Thomas, and the approaching threat. The tension was palpable as the two sides faced off in the confined space. Suddenly, one of the intruders aimed a flashlight at Max, temporarily blinding him. Taking advantage of the moment, the others lunged towards Jake and Thomas. A scuffle ensued, with Jake and Thomas fighting back-to-back, trying to fend off their attackers. Amid the chaos, a bright light flashed, and the intruders retreated, leaving Jake, Thomas, and Max catching their breath. Silence settled once more, but the implications of what they had uncovered weighed heavily on them. Thomas looked at Jake with a mix of urgency and fear. You need to help me find the truth. Henry Lawson's legacy is tainted, and there are people who will do anything to keep it that way. Jake nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. All right, but we need to be careful. Whatever's going on, it's bigger than us. As they exited the warehouse, Max remained vigilant, his instincts guiding them away from immediate danger. The discovery of the lost child and the sinister activities surrounding Brookside Grocers hinted at a deeper mystery that would soon intertwine their lives in unexpected ways. Back at Brookside Grocers, Emma tried to return to her routine, but the events of the previous night and the unsettling feelings lingered. Max, ever protective, seemed to sense her unease, staying close as if guarding her from unseen threats. One afternoon, as Emma was organizing shelves, she overheard a conversation between two co-workers about the old warehouse and strange occurrences. Her curiosity piqued, she decided to investigate further, unaware of the web of secrets she was about to uncover. That evening, Emma approached Jake, who was still processing the revelations from the warehouse. Jake, I heard some talk about the old warehouse. What's going on? Jake exchanged a glance with Thomas before responding. It's complicated, Emma. There's a lot we don't know, but we're trying to piece it together. Emma sighed, feeling a mix of concern and determination. If something bad is happening, I want to help, especially if it involves Max and the baby. Thomas nodded in agreement. Emma, your connection to the baby is crucial. We believe that the child you saved might hold the key to everything. Emma's eyes widened. What do you mean? Before Jake or Thomas could explain, Max suddenly growled, his eyes fixed on the parking lot. Emma followed his gaze and saw a black van pull up, its tinted windows concealing the occupants inside. Without warning, the van's doors swung open, and masked figures emerged, moving swiftly towards the supermarket. Someone's after us, Jake warned, drawing his weapon. Emma grabbed Liam and backed towards the store's entrance. We need to protect him. Thomas moved to stand beside them, his expression resolute. Stay behind me. As the intruders approached, Max positioned himself between the attackers and the group, barking fiercely. The tension was thick as the two sides faced off, the stakes higher than ever. Suddenly, one of the assailants lunged towards Emma, but Max intercepted, tackling the intruder to the ground. Chaos erupted as a scuffle broke out, with Max defending Emma and Liam with unwavering loyalty. Amid the turmoil, a loud crash echoed from the store's front entrance. Additional security personnel had arrived, alerted by Jake's silent alarm. The attackers, realizing they were outnumbered, retreated hastily, disappearing into the night. Breathing heavily, the group regrouped inside the store. Emma hugged Liam tightly, her heart pounding. Is he okay? Jake nodded, a mix of relief and concern on his face. Thanks to Max, he's safe. Thomas approached, wiping sweat from his brow. This is just the beginning. They're not going to stop until they get what they want. Emma looked at Max, her eyes filled with gratitude. You're truly a guardian, Mac. As the night settled once more, the gravity of their situation settled in. The pieces of the puzzle were slowly coming together, but the full picture remained elusive. Determined to protect Liam and uncover the truth, Emma, Jake, and Thomas prepared for the challenges ahead, unaware of the monumental revelations that awaited them. The days that followed were a whirlwind of activity as Emma, Jake, and Thomas delved deeper into the mystery surrounding Brookside Grocers and the lost child. Late nights were spent poring over old records, photographs, and newspaper clippings in an effort to piece together the fragmented history of Henry Lawson and his empire. One evening, as the trio gathered in the back room of the supermarket, Thomas pulled out a dusty ledger from a hidden compartment in his briefcase. This belonged to Henry Lawson himself, he explained. It contains financial records, personal notes, and references to the child. Jake and Emma leaned in, their eyes scanning the pages filled with intricate handwriting and cryptic entries. Look at this. Thomas pointed to a particular passage. Project Guardian, the code name for our most sensitive operation. The child must be kept safe at all costs. Emma felt a chill run down her spine. Project Guardian? What does that mean? Thomas sighed. It appears that Henry Lawson was involved in more than just running a supermarket. Project Guardian was an initiative to protect a child of great importance, someone who held the key to something much bigger. Jake frowned, trying to make sense of the information. But why? And who would want to harm the child? Before Thomas could respond, the room was plunged into darkness as the power abruptly went out. Panic set in as the sound of footsteps echoed through the store. We've been compromised, Jake muttered, reaching for his flashlight. Someone's trying to stop us. As the emergency lights flickered back on, the group saw a shadowy figure standing at the entrance of the back room. You shouldn't be here, the figure warned, a menacing tone in their voice. Max growled, stepping forward protectively. Leave us alone. The figure laughed, a cold and hollow sound. Project Guardian is no longer your concern. Hand over the child, and no one gets hurt. Emma's grip tightened around Liam's stroller. We won't let you take him. The standoff was tense, the fate of Liam hanging in the balance. Just as the situation seemed dire, a loud crash diverted everyone's attention. A shelf in the corner toppled over, creating a barrier between the attackers and the group. Seizing the opportunity, Thomas grabbed the ledger and bolted towards the back of the store, with Jake and Emma following closely. Max stayed behind, fending off the remaining assailants with relentless determination. Outside, the trio caught their breath, the adrenaline still coursing through their veins. We need to leave, Thomas urged. There's more to uncover, and they're not going to stop. As they made their way to Thomas's car, the sun began to rise over Brookside, casting a golden glow on the unfolding drama. The stakes were higher than ever, and the true purpose of Project Guardian was still shrouded in mystery. Determined to protect Liam and uncover the truth, they embarked on a journey that would lead them to unexpected alliances and shocking revelations. The trio's escape from Brookside Grocers marked the beginning of a relentless pursuit for answers. With the ledger in hand, they knew it held the key to unraveling the tangled web of secrets surrounding Henry Lawson and the enigmatic Project Guardian. Thomas drove them to his secluded cabin on the outskirts of town, a place where he had spent years researching Lawson Enterprises. As they settled in, Thomas began to decipher the ledger's cryptic entries, uncovering references to hidden assets, offshore accounts, and a network of loyalists dedicated to protecting the child. We're dealing with something much bigger than a simple corporate scandal, Jake mused. This was a well-orchestrated operation. Emma, still shaken but resolute, looked at Max, who lay beside her, eyes alert. Max isn't just a protector. He's part of this somehow. Thomas nodded. Max's instincts are impeccable. He was trained for situations like this, which means someone knew he would play a crucial role in safeguarding the child. As the day progressed, the group pieced together fragments of the past. They discovered that Henry Lawson had fostered several children over the years, each connected to different branches of his vast business empire. But only one child remained unaccounted for, Liam. Could it be that Liam is the key to Project Guardian? Jake wondered aloud. Before they could delve deeper, their makeshift sanctuary was breached by a knock at the door. Jake signaled for silence as he approached cautiously, peering through the peephole. A face emerged, recognizable and unexpected, Detective Laura Michaels. "Laura, what are you doing here?" Jake whispered, opening the door slightly. Laura stepped inside, her expression grave. "We need to talk. It's about Max and the child." Thomas motioned for her to sit, and as she took a seat, the tension in the room thickened. "I've been investigating the incidents around town, and they all point back to Project Guardian. It seems that the child is more than just someone to protect. There are those who believe the child holds a secret that could bring down powerful people." Emma's eyes met Jake's, understanding the gravity of their mission. "So, Liam is connected to all of this?" Laura nodded. "There's a legend about a hidden artifact, something Henry Lawson acquired years ago. It's said to possess immense power, and the child is the key to locating it." Thomas flipped through the ledger again. Project Guardian was initiated to ensure that the artifact remained hidden and protected. If it falls into the wrong hands, it could mean disaster. Jake clenched his fists. "Then we need to find out where it is before they do." As they strategized, Max's attention was drawn to a window, his stance defensive. Suddenly, a group of masked individuals stormed into the cabin, weapons drawn. "Hand over the ledger and the child," the leader demanded. A fierce battle erupted, with Jake and Thomas fighting back-to-back, Laura using her detective skills to outmaneuver the attackers. Emma, clutching Liam, sought refuge behind furniture, her heart racing. Max, embodying his role as guardian, fought valiantly, taking down several assailants with calculated precision. The room echoed with the sounds of struggle, but the group's determination never wavered. Amid the chaos, the leader cornered Emma, aiming his weapon. "Give us the child, and we'll leave you all unharmed." Desperate, Jake intervened, tackling the leader to the ground. A struggle ensued, and in the ensuing melee, the ledger was torn, pages scattering across the floor. As the dust settled, the attackers retreated, leaving the group battered but alive. The trio realized that their fight was far from over, and the true extent of Project Guardian's reach was only beginning to surface. Breathing heavily, Emma looked around at her allies. "We can't keep running. We need to confront this head-on." Jake nodded, determination burning in his eyes. "Agreed. Let's find that artifact and put an end to this once and for all." With Max leading the way, their quest to uncover the truth intensified, setting the stage for revelations that would change their lives forever. The journey to uncover the location of the hidden artifact took the group across Brookside and beyond, following clues etched within the torn pages of the ledger. Each clue led them closer to the truth, revealing a trail of hidden messages, coded symbols, and long-forgotten locations. One evening, as the group pored over the remaining ledger pages, Thomas uncovered a pattern in the entries. "Look here." He pointed to a series of numbers and letters. "This appears to be a cipher, a coded message that points to a specific location." Laura leaned in, analyzing the code. "It seems to correspond to coordinates. Let me decode this." After hours of meticulous work, Laura cracked the cipher, revealing a set of GPS coordinates leading to an abandoned lighthouse on the outskirts of Brookside, a place rarely frequented, with a history of being a local haunt for mischief rather than mystery. Determined to follow the lead, the group prepared for their next move. They knew the lighthouse held secrets, possibly the key to the artifact and the culmination of Project Guardian. Under the cover of night, they set out towards the lighthouse, Max leading the way with unwavering focus. The path was treacherous, winding through dense woods and overgrown trails, but the group's resolve kept them moving forward. As they approached the lighthouse, the structure loomed ominously against the night sky, its light long extinguished. The door creaked open, revealing a spiral staircase that ascended into darkness. Armed with flashlights, they ventured inside, the air thick with anticipation. At the top, they discovered a hidden chamber, its walls adorned with ancient symbols and protective wards. In the center stood a pedestal, upon which rested a small, intricately designed box. Emma felt a surge of recognition. This was the artifact mentioned in the ledger. As she reached out to touch the box, the room trembled, and a holographic projection flickered to life. Henry Lawson's image materialized, his voice echoing through the chamber. "If you're seeing this, it means you've uncovered the truth. The artifact holds the power to influence fate itself. It must remain protected, away from those who seek to exploit it." Before they could process the message, the ground shook violently and the walls began to collapse. The group realized they were not alone. The attackers had tracked them down to the lighthouse. "We need to secure the artifact," Thomas urged, grabbing the box. "It's the only thing that can stop them." As the attackers stormed the chamber, a fierce battle ensued. Max fought with unparalleled bravery, his loyalty unwavering as he defended the group from the relentless onslaught. In the midst of the chaos, Emma opened the box, revealing a radiant gem that pulsed with energy. The moment she touched it, a blinding light enveloped the chamber, and a powerful force emanated from the artifact, pushing the attackers back and creating a protective barrier around the group. The attackers, overwhelmed by the artifact's power, retreated into the night, their mission thwarted, for now. Breathing heavily, the group stood in awe of the artifact's power. "What does it do?" Jake asked, eyes fixed on the gem. "It has the ability to alter destinies," Thomas explained. "It's a force that can be used for great good or immense harm. That's why it was protected so fiercely." Emma held Liam close, understanding the gravity of their discovery. "We need to ensure this doesn't fall into the wrong hands." As they made their way back down the spiral staircase, the first light of dawn breaking on the horizon, they knew their journey was far from over. The artifact was a beacon of hope and a target for those who sought to manipulate fate itself. With Max by their side, they were ready to face the challenges ahead, determined to safeguard the legacy of Project Guardian. With the artifact secured, the group returned to Brookside Grocers, using the store as their base of operations. They knew that the attackers would regroup, seeking to reclaim what they believed was rightfully theirs. The stakes had never been higher, and trust among the group became paramount. However, amidst their mission, tensions began to surface. Secrets from the past threatened to unravel the fragile alliance they had formed. Emma, grappling with the revelation that Liam was connected to Project Guardian, found herself questioning her own role in the unfolding events. One evening, as the group strategized their next move, Thomas received a mysterious message on his encrypted phone. "Meet me at the old lighthouse at midnight. I have information you need." Suspicious yet intrigued, Thomas informed the group, "I need to meet someone alone. Stay here and keep an eye out." Reluctantly, Jake and Emma agreed, watching as Thomas left the store with Max following closely behind. At the lighthouse, Thomas met with an unexpected figure, Laura Michaels. "Why are you doing this, Laura?" Thomas demanded, his trust wavering. Laura sighed, her eyes filled with conflict. "I had no choice. They have leverage over me. My family is at risk if I don't comply." Thomas shook his head. "We're trying to protect our own. Betrayal won't help anyone." Before he could react, a gunshot echoed through the night, and Thomas fell to the ground, clutching his chest. Laura's face contorted with pain and regret. "I'm sorry," she whispered before collapsing beside him. Max, sensing the danger, growled menacingly as masked assailants stormed the lighthouse, guns drawn. A fierce battle erupted, with Max fighting valiantly to protect Jake and Emma, who had come to rescue Thomas. In the chaos, Emma spotted the attackers retreating, their mission unsuccessful once again. But the damage was done. Thomas was gravely injured, and Laura lay lifeless beside him. Jake rushed to Thomas's side, trying to stem the bleeding. "We need to get him to a hospital." As they hurried back to the store, the weight of betrayal and loss hung heavy in the air. The group's unity had been shattered, and the realization that not everyone could be trusted left a lingering doubt. Back at Brookside Grocers, they tended to Thomas as best they could, but his condition was critical. "He knew something," Thomas gasped, his voice fading. "The key to stopping them lies within the artifact's power. Use it wisely." With those final words, Thomas succumbed to his injuries, leaving the group devastated and more determined than ever to protect Liam and the artifact. As the days turned into weeks, the group faced mounting pressure from the attackers, who were relentless in their pursuit. The lines between friend and foe blurred, and the true motives behind Project Guardian began to surface, revealing a conspiracy that reached far beyond Brookside. Amidst the turmoil, Emma found solace in Max's unwavering loyalty, while Jake grappled with the loss of a trusted friend. The quest to uncover the truth had taken a personal toll, but the bonds they shared became their greatest strength. Determined to honor Thomas's sacrifice, they vowed to continue the fight, uncovering deeper layers of the mystery and preparing for the inevitable confrontation that awaited them. The battle for Project Guardian was intensifying, and the true test of their courage was yet to come. With Thomas gone, the group's resolve hardened. They knew that the final confrontation with those behind Project Guardian was imminent, and the fate of Liam, and possibly Brookside itself, hung in the balance. Using the ledger and the clues gathered so far, they pinpointed the location of the artifact's full potential, a hidden chamber beneath Brookside Grocers, accessible only through a series of secret passages known to Henry Lawson. One stormy night, as rain pounded against the store's windows, Jake, Emma, and Max prepared for their most dangerous mission yet. Laura's sacrifice weighed heavily on them, but her legacy fueled their determination. Navigating through the hidden passages, they reached the chamber, a grand hall adorned with intricate carvings and ancient symbols. In the center stood an ornate pedestal, the artifact resting atop it, emanating a powerful energy. As they approached, the ground trembled, and a familiar figure emerged from the shadows. Detective Laura Michaels, miraculously alive, her eyes filled with a mix of sorrow and resolve. "Laura?" Emma gasped, disbelief evident in her voice. Laura nodded, a bittersweet smile on her face. "I survived. They needed me to betray you, but I couldn't let them succeed. I've been working against them from the inside." Before they could react, the chamber was invaded by the mastermind behind Project Guardian, a high-ranking official in Brookside's local government, Mayor Richard Caldwell. His presence exuded authority and menace, a stark contrast to his public persona. "Welcome," Caldwell sneered, stepping forward. "You've come far, but you won't stop what's already in motion." Jake clenched his fists. "It's over, Caldwell. We're taking the artifact and ending this." Caldwell laughed, a chilling sound. "You misunderstand. The artifact is not just a tool, it's a weapon. With it, we can control destinies, manipulate outcomes to our advantage. Imagine a world where we dictate the flow of events, ensuring our dominance." Emma stepped forward, clutching Liam tightly. "That's not power, that's tyranny. We won't let you use it for your own gain." Caldwell's eyes glinted with determination. "You don't understand its true potential. With the artifact, we can reshape the future, eliminate threats, and secure our legacy." As Caldwell reached for the artifact, Max intervened, positioning himself between the mayor and the pedestal. "Not on my watch," he growled, baring his teeth. A fierce battle ensued, with Jake and Laura engaging Caldwell's loyalists, while Emma and Max focused on protecting Liam and the artifact. The chamber became a battleground, the air thick with tension and the scent of rain. As the struggle reached its peak, Emma realized that the artifact's power was reacting to the conflict, its energy intensifying. In a desperate move, she reached out and touched the gem, channeling its energy to neutralize Caldwell's control. A blinding light enveloped the chamber, and the artifact's power surged through Emma, Liam, and Max. Caldwell, overwhelmed by the force, was thrown back, incapacitated by the artifact's influence. Silence fell as the light faded, revealing the aftermath of the battle. The group stood victorious, the artifact secured and Caldwell's plans thwarted. Breathing heavily, Jake approached Emma and Liam. "It's over. You've done it." Emma looked at the artifact, now calm and inert. "We need to ensure it never falls into the wrong hands again." Laura nodded in agreement. "We'll take it to a secure location, where its power can be monitored and protected." As dawn broke over Brookside, the group emerged from the chamber, the storm having passed. The town was safe, and the shadows of Project Guardian had been dispelled. Max, ever the guardian, stood proudly beside Emma, his loyalty unwavering. Together, they had faced unimaginable challenges and emerged stronger, their bond unbreakable. With Project Guardian dismantled and the artifact secured, Brookside began to heal from the turmoil that had gripped the town. The truth about Henry Lawson's legacy was finally brought to light, and the community came together to rebuild what had been threatened. Emma, now recognized as a hero alongside Max, found a renewed sense of purpose. She continued her work at Brookside Grocers, but with a deeper appreciation for the support and resilience of her community. Jake, inspired by the events and the bravery of his companions, decided to establish a local security consultancy, aiming to protect Brookside from future threats. His partnership with Max became a symbol of strength and unity, their bond serving as a reminder of the power of loyalty and courage. Laura, having redeemed herself through her actions, became a respected member of the town's law enforcement, dedicated to ensuring that justice prevailed. Her relationship with Jake deepened, built on trust and shared experiences. As for the artifact, it was entrusted to a secure government facility, its power carefully monitored to prevent misuse. The group knew that vigilance was essential, but they also recognized the importance of moving forward and embracing the peace they had fought so hard to achieve. One evening, as the sun set over Brookside, Emma sat on her porch with Liam and Max by her side. The gentle breeze carried the sounds of laughter and life, a stark contrast to the chaos that had once consumed the town. "Max, you really are a guardian," Emma whispered, stroking his fur. "Thank you for everything." Max responded with a soft nuzzle, his eyes reflecting the unwavering loyalty that had saved her son and their community. In the distance, Jake approached, joining them with a warm smile. "Looks like we made it through." Emma nodded, feeling a sense of closure and hope. "We did, and we'll continue to protect what matters most." As night fell, the stars twinkled above, symbolizing the endless possibilities of a new beginning. Brookside stood as a testament to the resilience of its people and the unwavering spirit of those who fought to safeguard their future. In the end, the true power lay not in the artifact, but in the hearts and bonds of those who chose to stand together against the darkness. And with Max leading the way, their story was far from over, promising new adventures and the enduring legacy of Guardian Paws.